Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Corvus Cornix, and welcome to the Yacc, yet another Kråkast where I pick a game, I play it for a week, and then I talk about it. This week's game is Mario's Missing for the Super Nintendo. It was released in 1993, and it's a single-player educational game developed by the Software Toolworks and published by Mindscapes. And also, the spoilers up ahead, just so you know, but first a little backstory. So I've known this game for a very, very long time, and it's in fact notoriously bad. And I talked to one of my Twitch friends, Frodo NL, about this game, and he played it on his stream and whatnot. And from talking to him a bit, I decided to give it a go myself. But before I start to talk about the game, I need to address something that happened to me last Wednesday. So all my backup drives died, and 2.5 to 3 years work on YouTube is now gone from my drives. I took a look at the pins and the connections, and I couldn't find anything wrong with it. I took it to the computer shop where the guy looked at it for 2 seconds and said he couldn't do anything about it, but he recommended a company in another neighboring town. But I decided to just forget about it all. Just everything is up on YouTube. People can still access my stuff, and that's fine. But I learned a valuable lesson, so now I don't have just backups, I have backups of my backups. So the plot of this game is really stupid. So Bowser has somehow located the Mushroom Kingdom to the real world, where he plans to steal the natural treasures of each country by the help of teleporters. And with the money from those treasures, he is supposed to buy hairspray. So by using the hairspray, making the ice caps melt at the Antarctic. So I don't know, this game is supposed to be educational, but this is just stupid. So when the game starts, the text Mario's Missing appears, and Mario looks up at it, and he falls down a hole in the ground that just appears, and he lands in front of Yoshi and Luigi in the snow in front of a castle. And yet again, Mario falls down a trapdoor in the snow, and Luigi is forced to go inside to look for his brother. And then you get 2 options: search for Mario, which is new game, and continue search for Mario, which is password. So this game sounds and looks a bit off like a bootleg or a ROM hack with the sprites ripped out of Super Mario World. And I don't know, it feels like a discount Mario game. So Luigi finds himself inside a castle with 5 red doors, so I started with going to the door farthest to the left. And I found myself in a city, so you walk up and down blocks, and I figured out you can jump on the Koopas, and some of them drop what's called artifacts. I also figured out that there was a map system, and it's really huge. And on the map there are all these characters walking around, so if you interact with them, they will tell you useful information. But at this point, I really didn't know what to do. It was kind of overwhelming because the game doesn't really hold your hand. And also for some reason, you can jump on the Goombas, but they can't hurt you. So what you're supposed to do is to take the artifacts you get from some of the Goombas around the map, and you take them to an information desk with a character that's very similar looking to Peach. And she gives you a quiz where you have to answer locations and about landmarks and stuff like that in order to proceed. And if you for whatever reason fail a question, you can just leave the area and come back and it resets. You also get information by talking to the people in the city. So what you need to do is you need to find 3 artifacts in each of the cities, answer the question, and you also need to figure out by talking to the people in the town where in the world you are, because you can't leave without Yoshi for some reasons. You need to guide Yoshi on a separate map to where you are, and then you can jump on in and exit the level. And that's about it for the game. You beat a couple of bosses, in fact the Koopalings, and they're just as pathetic as the the main Koopas in the levels. They used to run forward and backward, and you jump on their heads. You get passwords each time you beat a level, and that's about it. You beat Bowser in the end. It's very anticlimactic. It's not a game that I could recommend. So gameplay. Go from location to location, find the artifacts, solve the quizzes, find Mario, and throw out Bowser in the end. Control, the D-pad is movement, the B button is jump, the Y button is run, the start button brings up the options such as artifacts, computer, globulator, city map, and photo album. The L trigger is minimap, and the select button is the big map. Graphics. So the graphics looks terrible. It looks like they put it in paint and vomited with ugly colors on it or something, and I don't like it. Sound and music. Rob Wallace and Sam Powell made the soundtrack for this game, and what they did is they took the original Mario theme and they adapted it to the country that you're in. So if you're in Japan or China, you have a Asian inspired theme, which now that I think about it is kind of racist. So if you go to Argentina and Brazil, you have a certain vibe there, and that's how they did it. It's not very clever, but at least they did something. Easter eggs, secrets, and glitches. So once you beat a level or a city, you get a password for that location. So I don't recommend this, but you could get a password online and check the different locations. Or you can just go on YouTube and see the end of the game if you are curious. So in conclusion, I wrote no, go read a book instead, you will actually learn something. So the music in this game is kind of okay, the graphics are serviceable, but this game is a Mario game poorly disguised as a geographical game. It's not a very serviceable Mario game at all, actually. And I didn't learn much, period. So in fact, this is just a licensed Nintendo game made to, educate people. But my recommendation would be to play Super Mario World instead, because that's just more fun. And I didn't have fun playing this game this week, so go do something else with your time. Read a book. So anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.